All right, and we are live. Welcome, brothers, to another show. Today, we got a really good show for you guys, man. I know a lot of guys are interested in Eastern Europe, Russia, Moscow, Ukraine, and we got two brothers that's out there currently right now in a city I've never even heard of, Bulgaria, right now. So we about to go live with them right this morning. I want to welcome my brother Elliot, and I want to welcome my brother Xavier, who are longtime members in the Blackmen Travels Facebook group, which you can join today, by the way. Let's get it.
Hey,
What's
Yes,
going on,
indeed.
how's
fellas?
everybody doing?
What's
All right,
happening?
all
What's
right.
happening?
Enjoying this summer in the great caves of Europe. Enjoying this summer.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah,
So we got my brother Elliot in the building. Elliot is currently walking around Bulgaria right now. Is that like at a concert or something,
yeah.
bro?
It's like it's a dog park. Most people come here, like set up their hammocks
Uh huh.
and they
Okay.
chill out. Right now, they do have a festival going on. It's called the Euro Trip.
Okay. Cool. 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 And how
Yeah,
long you
they
been out
got
there, bro?
more set up now.
Okay.
I've been out here 8 years.
Nice. Nice. And where are you from originally?
Yeah, I'm from California, Linwood.
You from California, Glenwood, brother. How in the
Yeah.
hell did you end up in Bulgaria?
What's your average love story? I met the girl out there. We had a first meeting at Universal Studios, and then
Okay,
she
cool.
told me she was from this country, and I came with her.
Nice, nice, nice. And
Yeah,
what's the
so it was
weather
one
out
of
there
those
like right
typical
now?
travel love stories.
Got you.
Oh, it's Vegas weather right now.
Hmm.
Okay, it's so hot. You need one T-shirt and a pair of drawers, and you will be okay.
So it's actually hot out there right now in Eastern Europe.
Yes, even the nights is warm. Like the temperature don't go down but a few degrees, and they out in Celsius, not Fahrenheit.
Uh huh.
You
That's
see,
what's
that's
up,
why
man.
I use this opportunity to ride my motorcycle across Europe because this is the warmest time, June, July, August. The end of August, pretty much the beginning of September or mid-September, it starts
Uh
getting
huh.
cool at night. I think it's similar to New York weather, my opinion.
Yeah,
Okay, because when we envision like Eastern Europe and Russia and all that, we think about snow and ice and mountains and skiing and stuff.
Now, Russia,
yeah,
perhaps, it is much cooler because it's way north, so it could be a little cooler there, similar to let me see, upstate New York weather. If I could be more precise, uh, yeah, upstate New York where it's warm during the day, a little cool at night during the summers, and you might get a little rain as well. But the summer is still warm. You could ride your
yeah.
motorcycle around.
Nice, nice. And how long you been out there in well, how long you been visiting Eastern Europe,
Oh,
Xavier?
2000, since about 10 years now, a good decade, a
About
little
10
over a
years.
decade, but yeah, yeah. Because back in 2003, I used to visit Western. I used to be in London and Africa, but then you're talking Eastern Europe. I didn't start coming out here until 2010 to 2011, to be exact. I believe 2011 to
Okay, cool.
Ukraine.
And explain us what exactly is Eastern Europe? Like what countries are in Eastern Europe?
So the Eastern Bloc really came from after what's that? World War II.
Hmm.
Um, when Russia and the United States, when they finally defeated Hitler and the Nazis, they decided to split. They said, okay, we're going to split. Russia took, I'm sorry, the Soviet Union. They took the eastern part.
Mm.
So once you cross the Berlin Wall, back when the Berlin Wall was up, once you cross the Berlin Wall, all of that was considered Eastern Europe. So you're crossing
Hmm.
the Eastern Germany. So Czech, it would consist of what you now know as Czech Republic, Yugoslavia, Bulgaria, um, Romania, Russia, Hungary, Poland. So all those countries, that's pretty much east of the Berlin Wall. So anything east of Berlin would considerably be considered Eastern Europe.
Okay, cool, cool,
Yeah,
cool.
they
And
call it the Balkans.
the Balkans.
Well, the Bulgaria has what's called the
Yeah.
Balkan Mountains, and Ukraine has what's called the Carpathian Mountains. It's all Eastern Europe though, so they call Bulgaria itself. Here they call it the Balkans because it's sort of like Utah. Like it reminds you of like Salt Lake City here. When you
Mhm.
come here, it's like Salt Lake City is surrounded by four mountains, but this is not. You'll just see mountains all throughout, and pretty much the valleys is where they built a lot of cities.
Okay, nice, nice, man. And I got a comment from my brother Global Paper. He says the food out there is not good. Is that true?
Okay, so I
That
think
depends. Okay, I think I should take this
okay, we both could
because
take
I
it.
mean I do love the food here. Okay, Bulgarian, yeah, Bulgarian food. It has its critiques. Like they have these green peppers that they stuff with either white cheese that they call or stuff it with like ground beef and rice. Now I think that's a really good dish. It's actually pretty tasty because it reminds you like some ground beef mixed with rice. So the second thing, I really like the moussaka, which is very delicious. It's just meat and potatoes, ground beef and potatoes, and like a cover sheet of eggs.
Okay,
It's like
Okay,
real good
so
food. I mean, it's some real nice places.
okay,
right, so when it comes to European food, period, I think they do have a sense of bland taste to it. But when it comes to Bulgaria in particular, see, Bulgaria sits. It's the first country when you get into Europe, right? You have the continental divide east of us. East of Bulgaria is Turkey, and that's where Asia starts, the continent of Asia. Okay, so once you cross into Turkey, you're going to get into Asia. Once you cross from Turkey back into Europe, going towards Europe, you're going to cross into Europe. And that's Bulgaria is the first country. So when you come here to Bulgaria, Bulgarian dishes have it's like a mix of you might see it like Greek culture, Greek food, Arab food, and of course your typical, as he mentioned, European food, meat and potatoes, which a lot of Russians do that. Also, when you get up in the Moscow area, Russia, they eat stuff like elk and a lot of the animals that from the wild that's habitat that are inhabitants of that area. So yeah, it could be a little bit bland. Ain't nothing like black people's food. Ain't nothing like our food. No matter where you go, ain't nothing like
right.
our food.
No matter
Nothing
where,
like
yeah.
Man,
Sweet Georgia
that's even true.
Cafe. You
That's
know,
even true out here in South America, man. To be honest with you.
yeah. So it's nothing like our food. Period.
Nice, nice.
But yes, Bulgaria got it. Their dishes are based on a lot of different influences. Because right to the south of us is Greece, so Greece
Hmm.
is right to the south.
Yeah.
And if anybody had Greek food, you know what that is—the pita bread or whatever. More so the Mediterranean. So you got Mediterranean influence. You also have Ottoman, which is Turkish influence to the east, and you have to the north Romania and Russia. So you have that influence. So Bulgaria sits in a strategic place, and a lot of cultures is or is surrounded by a lot of cultures. So the dishes are definitely heavily influenced by that. So, like you have lamb,
Yeah.
you have a lot of Turkish restaurant here in Bulgaria, a lot of Turkish restaurants. So you have lamb, you have halal lamb to choose from, which is different than European food. So it's more like Arabic food, like when you go to Dubai or Bahrain or Doha. It's similar to the same things that you'll get over there, but the influence is here too in Bulgaria.
Got you, got you. Ellie, I see you in the background. What you front of a statue?
Well, yeah. Right here is supposed to be Simeon Pradel.
Uh huh.
Prave is his name. Just another one of the founders of Bulgaria that they got set up around here. About to Right now we're in the center of the city. They call it Indica, the National Palace of Culture.
Okay. Nice, man. And
Yeah.
I
So
thought I heard
right
some.
now
I thought I heard some hip hop in the background, bro. They be playing hip hop out there.
they have some kids, rolling around on the bikes and stuff. They still be listening to music and stuff. They listen to some of the hip hop. Uh, but again, right now they do have a Bulgarian festival going on right now. I'm gonna circle around the indica spots, and it's gonna show you the full view of the festival.
And yes, they do listen to hip hop. As a matter of fact, you got kids here that are 20 years old, um, 21 years old, 20-year-old, and they know every line of Tupac. They know all the Tupac songs. They
Oh
barely
wow.
speak English. I mean, you know, kids that don't even speak English. They're 20, 21 years old, and they're heavily influenced by hip hop. Um, they even have BG, they call it Bega rap, which is Bulgarian rap. So you got Bulgarian rap. I believe I posted it in the group before it was shut down, the original group, but I'll post up
So they
some
have
stuff again.
Bulgarian rap.
They have Bulgarian rap, literally, you know, over trap music, over trap beats, over, you know, hip hop beats, over some abstract, whatever flavor you choose. And these people are pretty popular out here. They're pretty famous. They do concerts and shows. I'll post up some videos in the group. Thanks for reminding me because I have some from some of the shows that they perform at this summer on the beach on the Black Sea. So it's very popular. Hip hop, you know, like you know, Biggie said in the song, you know, daha daha. You never thought that hip hop would take it this far. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, our culture as Black people in America, our culture has heavily influenced a great deal of people. And when I say our culture, I'm specifically talking about music. I mean, wow, you know, it started with two turntables and a microphone in the park in the Bronx. And now
Mm-hmm.
you have here in Bulgaria people that don't even speak English, but yet they can tell you every song that Tupac made and they can recite it.
Okay, so they don't speak any English out there. You're not gonna run into any English speakers when you visit there.
Okay, so here's the thing. Sofia is the capital city, so it's an international city. So yes, you will see, you will have people here that speak English moderately, though, right? With a
Uh-huh.
heavy accent. But when you leave outside of Sofia, you go to other cities like Varna, you go to other cities like Yambo, Plovdiv. If you go outside of the capital city of Bulgaria, Sofia, if you go outside the capital of Sofia, you will barely find anyone that speaks English, and Google Translate is going to have to be your best friend because that's the only way you could probably get some communication going on.
Okay, okay. And like, how long is the flight from America to over there to Eastern Europe?
Okay, so they talked about having direct flights from New York to Sofia, which would have been a good 8-hour flight, but um, right now, well, then COVID got in the way.
Uh-huh.
Because it's a large influx of Bulgarian. The second largest population of Bulgarians outside of Bulgaria is in Chicago. And what usually happens is you go into Germany, or you can fly all the way to Istanbul, Turkey, and then fly back into Europe 45 minutes, or you can fly into France, London, England, but it's usually a layover somewhere in the major cities. So I know New York to London's 5 hours, and then from London to Bulgaria is an hour, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, depends on the route they take on the airplane, but mostly about 2 hours once you land in anywhere in Europe. Lufthansa, you know, one of the major hub is in Frankfurt. So usually from America, you would have to, you know, probably have a 1 hour or hour and a half layover in Germany, or Germany, London, or Istanbul, Turkey, and then
So
fly into
from
Bulgaria.
so from New York to London, it's like you said, it's 5 hours.
Hmm.
That's not that bad,
No, you get to California. From New York to California is about that, about 6 hours.
right? And you say
Yeah,
you
so
do a layover in London and then you go to Bulgaria.
yes, most all the major countries in Europe have flights to Bulgaria, have flights to Sofia, and during the summertime they have flights to Varna and a few of the cities on the Black Sea, which is a little bit further. It's about 4 hours drive to get to the sea, the Black Sea from here. But that's where everybody congregates. All the European people from Western Europe, they go to Bulgaria. That's where they go vacation because you can buy beer for about $1. You can buy they can buy cheap alcohol, but what ended up happening was the safety concerns out there. A lot of people from London and Ireland would get drunk and then they go to the top of the building and they would jump off. So
Say, wait, wait,
you
wait,
know,
what now?
They would
So,
get drunk. They would drink themselves, and then somehow they would go up to the top of the roof of the hotels that they have on the beach, on the Black Sea, and they would jump off. They would die, commit suicide.
oh, they would actually kill themselves.
Yes, yes,
Oh,
and it
oh,
was
that's insane.
happening. Yeah, it was happening more often, But this is where they come to party. This is where Western European countries like France, London, Germany. This is where people come to party because it's very cheap. Alcohol is cheap. They can party for cheap, and they don't have to go so far. Like they don't have to leave to go to a tropical island or Caribbean somewhere.
Nice. Shout out to my brother Neil Stewart with a $5 super chat. He says, I have friends in Germany that said Prague was the place for bros. Can you comment? I'm joining late. Can you comment on that, Xavier?
Yes. So, okay. So Prague. I want to say. I, I
Uh-huh.
want to say don't. Okay, so with Prague, I want to say there are better cities than Prague. Now, in Eastern Europe, with Prague, it's good to have fun during the day, perhaps when you go out and take a tour of all the castles. They have a lot of castles in Prague, in the Czech Republic. So it's good to do that tour during the day, and then at night, the nightlife. Um, it's 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 real quiet. It gets quiet. It gets real quiet at night. The bars don't stay open as long as you would expect them to, like 12-ish, maybe even 2. They're trying to become more like Austria, and they're trying to become more like those European Union countries because it's one of the first countries. Once you leave Germany, you go into Czech Republic. The brothels stay open. That's about the only things that are open that late. But yeah, it's I would say it's better cities. Romania, I believe, is better. Moscow, I believe, is better than Prague. My opinion, of course. And I base it on the fact that I don't drink, I don't drink, don't smoke, don't sniff, no dip, no chew, no snuff, no hookah, no cotton, no coffee. Never started. So I'm a sober person, and um, and I'm telling you, this is from my perspective. So I've been to Prague several times. I ride my motorcycle through Prague. I stay there 2 or 3 days to see if things have changed. Um, like I said, it's. I mean, anywhere we go in Europe, women are gonna like us. That's
Interesting.
there's just no debate about that. They're gonna chase you down. They're gonna follow you. The ones that know they don't speak English, they're gonna try and follow you and try to it's just you're gonna notice like, hey, you following me? Hey, how you doing? So it just happens like that. That's everywhere. That's all over, especially Eastern Europe. So yes, you will
Oh,
get that in Prague as well. Yes.
nice, nice. Let me catch this super chat, man. And I'm gonna ask you another question, Xavier. Shout out to Black Kraken with the $10 super chat. He says, "Wow, you finally discovered the European continent. I wonder why travel bros are so obsessed with Brazil, Colombia, and the DR." Talking about me. Germany, Sweden, Norway, and Belgium is a black man's paradise, man. Appreciate the $10 super chat, bro. You want to respond to that, Xavier?
Okay, so those are Scandinavian countries he just mentioned, and those Scandinavian countries, they have super white hair, super blonde. Further north, okay, that's like just imagine. Well, pause. But imagine if Thor had a sister, Um, so just very white hair. But those women definitely, they rape brothers. They see you, they're gonna rape you. You know, just just crazy. They go crazy over brothers. They go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I think I lost. Mic check, mic check.
Here we go. I had to take myself off mute for a second, man. Give me a second.
Okay. So
So I'm
so
gonna
if
play.
he's talking about
I want to play devil's advocate here for a little second, man. We've been at it for about 20 minutes. We got 88 in the room. Fella, do me a favor, hit that like button. Now, some guys, let's say some PUA coaches might say, "Hey, man, you guys just making this up. It's not really like that. When you get your passport, feminism is spreading around the world. Women want to be, independent. They're not really just want to date like that." So, do you happen to have any receipts that you can show us of how the women are, look out there?
Elliot, you're a man that's
Hold
permanently
on, hold
involved
on.
in something. Talk about that.
All right, hold on. Elliot, you there,
Again,
bro?
we're talking about as far, yeah, are we talking about like the women connecting to us?
Right, right, right.
I mean, my relationship, as far as I can say, it's a real family oriented. A lot of them, once they get a new culture involved into the family, they do try to welcome you as much as you are interested. Other than that, I mean, if you um, show any restraint or no interest in their culture at all, then it's a full on rejection. I mean, racism was a big thing before I hit Bulgaria back in 2013. And, they had it real bad over here in the center where they would see, some of the black people or if they had any interactions with them, that it would always be negative. And as of now, let's say towards 2015 to now, lot of more different changes, more people trying to greet you and talk about your culture instead. They're showing a lot of growth, let's say right now, and the women are opening themselves up. I had a woman on the train the other day. She openly had to admit, "Oh, I just started dating black guys."
Okay.
So it
Well,
was
here's
like,
the
yeah, I was like, okay, that's nice.
so here's the thing. Here's the
But
thing.
yeah, yeah,
I don't think I don't think Elliot knows anything about PUA, red pill. Someone when I went to Colombia, when I was in Colombia in December, someone gave me a little brief rundown on what PUA coaches are and red pill and all this
mm,
men going what's that men going their own way. I didn't it was new to me. It's foreign to me. So as of December, I've heard of this, and I really didn't investigate it too much. But Aaron, you said some PUA coaches would
mm,
say for us to show receipt, or they would say feminism is spreading. I will say Western culture is spreading. Like right where Elliot is at, it's the one of the first McDonald's that are here in
yeah.
Bulgaria. So they actually have a McDonald's here. Now they have a couple McDonald's around Bulgaria now. Western culture in general is spreading. Feminism. See, the thing about that, a lot of this is still a
Very
patriarchal
touchy.
society.
Go ahead,
Oh,
bro.
sorry. This is a patriarchal society, and it's like I think once you step outside of the matrix, you're definitely gonna like find a lot of women that are feminine. You'll find a lot of women that do want to be with a man, take care of their man, and things of that nature. A lot of old school type of culture. Now, what I do know is that since pornography, and I don't mean to, get too, I'm not going to get too vulgar, but it's definitely something that's being popular because more people here are starting to use internet in Eastern Europe and things of that nature. And a lot of what's being watched is, um, as they would say, BBC, right? So they would watch a lot of that
Yeah.
here, the women, and they're very, they're hooked onto it. So I think that's what's raising the level of women wanting black men because they're actually watching it now. I don't think they used to have it back in
Yeah.
communist days because Bulgaria used to be communist. Pretty much Eastern Europe used to be communist. So I don't think they had an influx of black people here as they do now with travelers that are coming in, a lot of students that are coming in from Africa into the universities here. And a lot of as soon as these guys get into the universities in Ukraine, in Moscow, I mean, you got women chasing them down. Women are like, "Hey, I'll take care of you." They cry when you leave. They beg you to stick around. And the thing about it is this: I'm I'm Black American, African American, whatever you want to call it, right? Foundational Black. And when I came here, I see all the Nigerian brothers or all the brothers straight from African diaspora, you know, cooped up with all type of girls that is just going crazy over them. They just be in the club, and the
Yeah.
thing about it is some of them come here as immigrants, like literally no money, and then they come here and find a wife or three girlfriends on the side and things of that nature. So
Yeah.
it's uh it's interesting the dynamics here. Um, and is it because of pornography being the number one search thing online? Perhaps that got a part to play in it. Is it the, aphrodisiac that naturally exists within all women outside the matrix? Perhaps it is. It could be a combination of things.
Okay, cool, man. I'm gonna show some photos you sent me. You can just talk about the photos, okay?
Yeah, sure.
So you see that on screen?
Um, okay, so yeah, that's the presidential palace here in Bulgaria. That's where
Mm-hmm.
the president live, of course, and it's a hotel right next door. I believe it was built by the Soviets during communism time, but it's modern, constantly getting modern, updated. Um, so yeah, that's along one of the major boulevards here in Sofia, in
Okay,
Bulgaria.
and who do we have here?
Okay, so this is a young lady that works at a bar. She's half Bulgarian. Her father is surprisingly not Nigerian. Her father is from Guinea-Bissau. So she's half African and she's half Bulgarian. And I
Nice.
believe she said she was 24 and she's mixing the drink for me. She's making a nice lemonade with ginger. So she's hooking up a virgin drink for me because, I told her I don't drink. But yeah, very nice sister. She speaks Bulgarian and she speaks
Mhm.
some English, but she doesn't speak any of the African language.
Okay, nice.
But and
And
if you come around Bulgaria, you'll see a lot of mix, mostly females. I don't know where the guys go to, but you'll see a lot of mix females, and they look more black than they do Bulgarian. And you'll be like, "Wow, are you?" And they would say, "Yeah, my mother's Bulgarian. My mother's Bulgarian." So that's interesting.
got you.
Yeah.
Sorry, Elliot, that's you.
Yeah, go ahead, Elliot.
Well, this is a little bit more away from the center. This is one of my friends from actually Starizagora. She's been working with me for the last few years. Uh, she tells me about how they study English in high school mostly to be able to speak her language. She still has the dialect, but she gets used to it. She's been learning. She's trying to travel to New York, but by next year.
Okay,
So yeah,
cool.
it's just us in part of the center.
Nice. We got some receipts. That's
I
what's
mean, you
up,
see a lot
man.
of the complexes. Yeah, you see a lot of the complexes though. They look like the projects pretty much. I mean, houses are not a thing in the center. Everything is project made in close living quarters.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a city. And another thing is like when you meet the women here as well, I mean nudity is I mean look, sex is like taboo
Don't get us.
in around like in America and things of that nature where I mean women here it's like shaking hands like hi how you doing and
Yeah,
and it's like okay after you get to know the person and hang out with them perhaps the whole night whatever it's like oh what's your name it's just like it's and in other
yeah,
words it's real easy it's nothing too difficult you don't have to take them out you don't have to do any of that I believe that the women here want sex as much as they want to get with a hookup as I say they want to hook up or get with a man
yeah.
uh, probably more than men want them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Definitely. But
And what's like the
I'll tell you the dangerous part about that.
go ahead.
Yeah, they try to do this in order to lock the men down quickly. In my opinion, from what I have seen from the women here, I have like three friends explaining to me their relationships, how fast they fall in love with the guy, and she just met him last week.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, in this way, the over sexuality is some of the women's way in locking down the men, so to speak, or to find out if they're really going to be with that man or not.
And
Okay,
Elliot,
nice.
you're a rare commodity too. So, given the fact that we're rare commodities, the
Yeah,
options for us is way more vast. Also, me myself, my experience. You take a picture with them, and they don't mind being nude. They don't really don't have an issue with being nude on camera. They just be like, hey, yeah, you can film. Yeah, we can do whatever you want, and you can
Come
film
on.
it. And I find a lot of that. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know if they think they're going to be the next Kim Kardashian. I really don't have any idea,
Ugh,
but they just allow you to film and ask you, can you film me walking? And then they'll do something crazy like perhaps flash a little something too. But they're
about
very yeah, they're very open. It's very open out here.
yeah.
Nice.
That's why I think it's real dangerous. They have a place here called Sunny Beach,
Mm-hmm.
where all the foreigners go to play. Oh my gosh, black guys go down there. They probably don't want to leave.
Oh wow. Oh wow. That's amazing,
Yeah,
bro.
the
And let me
whole
ask you,
place,
man,
man.
are you
I've
able
been.
to like book a apartment on Airbnb out there? How you do the rooming situation out there?
I mean, it's fairly easy. I mean, you can just go online to any hotels, on the seaside or whatever, and book a
Mm-hmm.
place for you to stay. I mean, it's usually only like um, 40 to 50 lev, which is like maybe $30.
30 American. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's talk about that for a second, man. Like as far as the exchange rate, how's the exchange rate to the American dollar out there? Is it expensive? Is it moderate, or is it cheap?
Okay, so
well,
one of the
right now,
reasons. Oh, well,
no, go ahead,
okay,
go
so
ahead.
so the cost of living out here is cheaper than America. I'd say by half, but then
Okay.
Colombia is half the cost of this place here. So what you would spend on food, perhaps I go to a restaurant, I get soup, lentil soup, then I get lamb racks, rice, vegetable, a starch, and a protein. Let's just say that something you get at Outback Steakhouse. Outback Steakhouse, it cost me $28 with the drink, whereas I would get it here for $11 with the tip. The same exact meal and probably with just a soup added, and it'd be $11. Um, so it's like, okay, not bad. You ate a full-on meal for $11. Also, the place where I'm residing is like I'm in a 2,200 square foot penthouse for 1,000 American dollars a month. Of course, it's expensive here for the people here because on average they earn here, like the police officer here in Bulgaria earns about 400 euros, arguably 460 American
Yeah,
dollars.
And
which
that's
is why they
Um,
take bribes all the time.
so that's
yeah,
per month.
per month. Yes, in Europe they get paid
Yeah,
monthly. Yes, I believe all over Europe they get paid per month. So Italy, I know they get paid about 1,000. The average rate they get 1,000 euros a month. But here in Eastern Europe, in Bulgaria, they get about 400 a month. So the currency here is low, where you can actually the cost of living for you would be low. And comparing that to Colombia, I would say um, the reason why I'm, I like it here, especially during the summertime motorcycle riding season month, I can actually it's more safe here. It's safer here than it would be like trying to ride motorcycle throughout Latin America or from cities to cities in certain parts of Latin America. So comparatively, I do spend the wintertime in Colombia, but during the spring, summer, and fall months, I'm mostly here because of the safety aspect of it. You don't have to worry about anything. Um, Now, and obviously, something can happen because you got miscreants everywhere. But what's going to end up happening is the police do something about it.
Got you, got you.
yeah.
Shout out to Neil Stewart once again with a $5 super chat. He says, "What's the intel on Poland? My bro is asking me about what country to find a real wifey. Has any one of you guys been to Poland?"
No,
So I've
but a lot
I've
of
been to
Poland people.
a lot of
Go ahead.
Polish people come here.
Yeah, go.
A lot of Polish people do come here, and yes, I've been to Poland. It's uh, it's it's Eastern Europe, man. It's just women, man. You can just they go crazy over you. They never seen chocolate before, you know.
Mhm.
They never seen It's like they never seen black men. We really don't get around. Um, we really don't get around. So Poland, I rode my motorcycle through there, and it's fairly cheap. The weather's a little bit kind of during the summer it rains because it's sort of towards the Baltic. So imagine me on my motorcycle, right? You know. So yeah,
Yeah.
Poland is as far as getting women, it's they'll come to you. They'll come to you and they get real cliquish. I mean, clingy. So they be like, "Hey, I love you," and you're like, "I just met you. How do you love me?" So yeah, I see you
Yeah.
posting up on this screen there. Yeah, that's a girl I met in Russia right there.
Okay, so she's Russian.
She's Russian. The one before that, I believe, she's Ukrainian. They all speak Russian. The culture is pretty much the same, although perhaps the males hate each other. Um, but yeah, they neighbors, and yeah, you meet them and hey, take a picture. Let's take a picture. It's just that simple. It's like
Yeah.
something I never imagined. I would never imagine, given the fact that I do know white supremacy is global. And when you finally travel to Eastern Europe, you're like, not that you're looking for racist things to happen, but you kind of go, okay, everybody's so nice. You know,
Hmm.
I still don't sleep on anything, but still, everybody seems to be very kind, very welcoming. Um, you know, it's just, just one of those things. Like I said, Karen worship, anybody with a Karen worshiping fetish or Becky fetish, hey,
Hmm.
Eastern Europe, it's definitely one where you can get some things out of your system.
And you said as far as the nobody speaks English, how do you communicate out there? You just have your translator, or do you actually speak Bulgarian or Russian or something like that?
Elliot, okay, I
Well,
think it's,
I
oh, okay, sorry.
speak a little bit of Bulgarian, but it's not so much. It's the basics. Kaji, which is like tell me, or like Stava, which is like what's up, and just the main stuff. Just for what I need. I never really dug into the language per se, because every time somebody asks me, oh, why don't you learn Bulgarian? I'll teach you Bulgarian. You speak to me in English. You speak to them in English, and they forget their whole Bulgarian language. Like you didn't even say anything, and they won't comprehend what you're saying.
Hmm.
And you
Okay.
I
live in a
mean,
major
I've even
city.
gotten into,
You live in
yeah,
Sofia, though. That's why. In Sofia,
yeah,
in the capital, yes, that's not an issue. You will find a lot of people speaking English, so you wouldn't have to learn Bulgarian. But outside of it, where I travel,
no,
I use mostly Google Translate everywhere I go. When I ride my motorcycle through different countries, everywhere I go, and then when I know I'm approaching the capital, I know I'm okay because I know the people speak English. When you look at the capital of Poland or the capital of Ukraine or the
yeah,
capital of Russia, you just know in the capital you'll be safe as far as language is concerned. But outside of that, Google Translate, whether you go to a restaurant, whether you go out, whether you go to a museum, wherever you go, Google Translate has been, in my experience, lifesaver.
Okay. And
yeah.
what's a good time to visit out there to Eastern Europe? Because I know it's like it gets cold and it snows. Are there certain months you visit out there?
So anytime I'd say between April and October. And but the interesting part is people mostly party during. I believe they have cabin fever, so most
The
people
winter days.
the best parties would be in the winter. The best parties would be
Yeah,
when it's snow on the ground, when it's when it's just like the best. And in the summer, I don't know. People probably more relaxed. They feel lazy. I don't know. Their energy isn't up. So, but the winter time, October in Moscow is like good.
Nice, nice. And who was this beautiful young lady right here?
who was this one?
Xavier, you there? I think we might have lost
I
Xavier for
think
a second.
his concert. He trying to
You
fix
gotta you
his
Can you
gotta
hear
unmute
me?
the mic.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now.
Yeah.
Yeah, her name is Irina. Her name is Irina. I met her in Moscow, and she just she called herself loving hip hop, and she's just competing with all the other girls to go after a brother.
Oh
Like I
wow.
said, any brother would do. Any brother would, you know, if I,
Anybody would do.
I'd like to think that I'm the, the Denzel around here, but any brother, man, she see any brother, they go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, man. They just, and a bunch of
Yeah,
them
yeah,
look like that, it's just like, what? Like, it's just crazy how it's your choice. You're the man when you get here. You are the man.
yeah.
It's, I mean, you can get whatever you want
It
done,
wouldn't be
ask
hard. You
what
wouldn't
you
have
want.
no problem.
No problem at
Mm-hmm.
all.
Mm-hmm.
And
Nice.
when I see people in the States, with, okay, my experience, and let me just say my experience. I've traveled around in the Matrix, and I've seen a lot of brothers with extremely obese, uh, uh, let's say, cave women, white
Yeah,
men,
women, the white
and
girls. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm just like, wow, like, did he have to settle for that, or is this the best he could do,
I
or is
asked the
that?
same question.
And meanwhile, you have women that are that because okay, so sports is a big thing in Eastern Europe, right? When you look
Uh-huh.
at when you even going back to the times of the Roman, right? A lot of your like Spartacus, he's from here. He's from Bulgaria, right? It's called the Thracian Valley. So Spartacus is from here. A lot of the during the Roman times for their games in the Colosseum, they used to come here and pick up the slaves because the term slave is a Greco-Roman term, and it comes from the term Slavic people because that's who they enslaved. Okay, so these people were enslaved for by Turkish here in Bulgaria. They were enslaved by the Turks or the Ottoman for 500 years, and this was around the time we black people as captured people were enslaved in the U.S. So a lot of people here perhaps are athletic, and I'm not saying because of slavery, but they're athletic. And when you look at all your tennis players from Europe, like Anna Slava and and all these people, Kubrat Pulev, boxers, then you got the ones from Ukraine, the brothers, Klitschko, Vitaly Klitschko, Vladimir Klitschko. So sports is a big thing here and in Eastern Europe, period. And a lot of females are very conscious about their physique. They want to stay fit, and these are the type of females you'll come across. They try to drag you into the gym. They be like, "Let's go. You come in with me, and we're gonna work on those legs." So, and
Yeah.
vanity could play a part into it, but Eastern European women are they're very into sports. They're very into looking good. So these are the kind of things these are the kind of women that you'll get here. And the word Slavic in Balkan language, in Eastern European language, it means glory.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you have places like Yugoslavia. You have names like somebody named whatever, Anna Slova, Anna Kournikova, right? And you always see some type of Slav. Like the
Yeah.
guys' names here are Stanislav. Like, hey, my name is Stanislav. So Slav is pretty popular. A singer here name is Preslava. So the term Slav means glory in Eastern European languages across the board, acrylic writing system. But of course, they're like, oh, those are the Slavic people. So that's where the term slavery come from. So they enslaved these people.
Okay. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
it's my cutting out.
Okay. And what we're looking at right here on this photo is this like a festival, Elliot?
Yeah, and, they have a lot of these festivals going on. This looked like one of the hip hop festivals that they be doing. You know how the girls be showing out. That's why, again, the sexist thing is not a thing. These girls love it. Going out showing themselves, especially if they dress for the part or fit for the part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see one of them with the micro braids in the background.
Yeah, uh, this looked like one of the events. I mean, from the Sophia Riders, as you can see.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Xavier, you back? Xavier.
No, you're gone.
Okay, okay. So where you at right now? You in the park or something, Elliot? Go ahead, put you
Yeah,
on.
I'm still in the dog park. I'm waiting for everybody to come to the festival. It's about to start right now. Uh, they do a lot of nightlife. I mean, this festival is probably going to be going until 12 o'clock tonight. They're setting everything up. They have again, that other festival that I walked past on the other side for the Bulgarian Spirit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
So I mean, it's always a lot of stuff going on in the city. For me personally, I've been in a lot of the party scenes,
Mm-hmm.
mostly like techno is real big here, and as you said, the big A rap. I have at least two friends that they do this, and they have a festival every year. It's called Back to the Unity, and this is where all the bigger rappers gather with each other. They do the performances for the local groups and stuff, and it's pretty good. It's one of the fun times in Sofia, as they say, and this usually again happens between the summertime, let's say from April to August.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Xavier, you
Yes.
back?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. Sorry, I
Okay.
was getting somebody's trying to call through. So yeah, the Slavic, so this whole Slavic thing, and the women being very conscious about being fit and fitness and things of that nature. You'll find a lot of your performers around the world. They're very conscious about of that. Um, Ilya, do you have any experience with the police here?
Uh, yes, I have a few times. One time they stopped me in front of a party scene, and they were trying to again haggle me for money. They asked me if I can go to an ATM. Asked me if I could give them some money to not give me a ticket because I have a broken Bulgarian ID, and they
Oh.
say it's against the law to have broken government property. But
Yeah, if you have a ripped
they were
Bulgarian
fooling
ID.
with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and it snapped in the washer. But I mean, they really don't do anything about it. The Let's say last week, this guy saw me walking down the street trying to smoke a cigarette, and because I couldn't find my lighter, he thought I was reaching for something else. The guy runs up behind me while I'm on the phone with a friend, and just says, "Hang up the phone." I tell him, "No, I can't hang up the phone." He says, "You're safe. I'm the police." I say, I don't trust the police. What do you want me in? I had my friend stay on the phone up until then. And even though that my ID was still broken, he just said, we don't care. We don't care. We just want to check right now. And took my documents. So, like, it's really iffy, when it comes to the police because either you're going to bribe them or they just know you from somebody else. I
Okay,
mean, the system
so
is corrupt, pretty much.
so and I mentioned before they get about 400 euros a month. That's their average salary. And given that being their salary, they only and when you give them when they pull you over, you give them about $4. It's about equal to $4 American. Like, go ahead, have some coffee. You put
Yeah,
that in your registration,
yeah.
and you give it to them, and they pretty much leave you alone. Because I got pulled over for speeding plenty of times, and I call it honest corruption rather than in the Matrix when you get pulled over for speeding, you get a speeding ticket, then you have to pay off a lawyer, and the money end up going up
Yeah.
the chain of command to the judges or wherever the money go to, allegedly. Whereas the police in Bulgaria, the police here in Eastern Europe, period, in Ukraine is the same way. The police pull you over, put about $4 inside of a little thing, and you're not gonna get a speeding ticket. They're gonna leave you
They'll take
alone.
it.
They'll take it. Yeah, just put $4. And again, because their salary is lower than Bulgarian salary, and theirs is $400 a month. So, and this is normal. The populace knows that it's a normal thing. I call it honest
Yeah, and
corruption because you're
everybody
giving it.
just
Yeah, you're just giving $4 to them, and then you don't have to worry about ever showing up in court. You don't have to pay off any lawyers. You don't have to pay anything
yeah.
at all. So, and like I said, I speed when I drive, so it's just it's pretty easy to deal with them.
Nice, nice,
They
man.
really don't do it. I mean, even like they call them ticketers for the transport.
Uh huh.
Uh, they Now when you don't have a ticket on the bus or the trolley, they're supposed to give you a ticket, and that ticket you take to the court and pay like 20 left.
So
But
hold on. So you
instead
mean
of
the bus and the trolley that like, so you get on? It's like in London. You get
yeah,
on the
the public
trolley
transport.
without paying. Public transportation. You don't have to pay
Yeah.
upfront. Okay.
Well, you do. Okay, you have to buy a ticket either from the driver or one of those little stands that they have near the buses. But if they catch you without one, because some people, of course, get on the public transport without their tickets, or the front bus driver doesn't have the change to give them a ticket. Uh, Now, when the ticketers try to give you a ticket, most stories I heard, you either just walk away or give them the 20 left, so you don't have to uh, write the ticket for yourself. It's not registered under your name or something like that. But most of the time, I haven't gotten a ticket unless I wanted to. The first time I did it just to see the procedure, how it act, and from then on, I don't pay for a ticket. And if these guys do stop me, I will just stand there and they waste time and then walk away. There's even a fake police call where they tell you, I'm going to call the police and the police are going to come and take your documents. And they make a fake call, ring on the phone, and then they wait for 10 minutes and then walk away.
How much is a bus ticket?
And it's literally every time. I mean, it's only 11.60.
Why don't you
So
just
it's
pay
like
$11.60? That's
a dollar.
75 cents. Yeah, a dollar. Yeah. Why don't you just
I
pay
know,
it?
but I'm in a rush. No, no. I mean, these are cases where, like, you run into catch the next bus before you get to work, or like the front driver tell you he doesn't have change for a 10, like he doesn't have like money from enough people during the day to give you change.
Okay.
So and then in some of these cases, they get on there, and then like it's you 5 stops away from your stop, and the bus driver still didn't have money. This it One time, like the ticketer actually gets on the same time as me. I go to the front to ask to pay for a ticket, and the lady tries to stop me from paying the fucking ticket.
Okay.
And I was like, "What
Do
do you
you miss
mean? I just
LA?
got on with you." Like, oh,
Do you miss
I
Los
cannot,
Angeles,
man.
Elliot?
I mean, I do not, for game banger reasons and family orientation.
Right.
I
Hey,
mean,
hey
I
Xavier,
was basically,
I want to ask you this real quick, guys.
yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and in the show. What's the first country you guys suggest a brother visit in Eastern Europe? Should he go to Ukraine first, Bulgaria first? Should he just go to Moscow? Like, what country or city should he visit first?
I'm voting on Ukraine. Some of the most beautiful women is like there, and they is like really into it, as you say. They will jump on a brother fast. Yesterday, I was on the movie set with 2 Ukrainians that just came to Bulgaria because they said it's like the easiest education that they can get. And 1 minute standing with me, both of them was just attacking. Like, okay, where you gonna go? Like, can we go do something after this? Like, can we spend some more time together and of this nature? And yeah, these girls were pretty cute.
Okay,
Nice, nice.
so um,
Yeah.
okay, so I'm gonna just do it with a little context. I believe Moscow is the greatest city. Is the greatest city in Europe. Moscow is the greatest city in Europe, my opinion.
Okay.
Um, Now, if you want to just dabble into a city, have fun, and get out, Romania. I
Right.
heard it was $25 an hour, in and out. Um, Ukraine, I heard it was $50 an hour for
Mm-hmm.
the quality. That's what I heard about Ukraine. I mean, I hear these things. I hear a lot of things, right? Um, But so if you want to just have fun in and out, relationship anywhere, you can go to Poland, you can go to any part of the former Yugoslavia, Serbia, Croatia, Herzegovina, Romania. You can go anywhere to find relationship. If you anywhere in Eastern Europe, and they're all just drawn to you, and it's your choice. They'll say, hey, you want to just have fun, or do you want to be? Do you really like me? And they'll tell you, and they'll tell you like I'll choose whatever you want. So be honest with me. Um, so I believe Moscow is the best because Moscow has 24-hour restaurants. Moscow has 24-hour bars. You will find a lot. Moscow is where I found more Africans than I've seen in any part of Eastern Europe combined. So you will literally go to parties with Nigerians in Moscow. So Moscow it's a true. I'm from New York City, which is 24 hours, but Moscow definitely is in my opinion, is the city that never sleep. Ukraine is real quiet at night, but during the day you can easily find somebody to cuddle up with. Romania, again, it's easy in and out. Those girls are about money. Those girls are like, hey, well, I heard it was like $25 for an hour. So it depends when you say which city would you suggest if you want to play. If you just want to play with women, Romania. If you want to enjoy a city, a big city that got a bunch of different things to do, you'll never get bored, Moscow, Russia. Um, I have Bulgaria at the bottom of that list, actually, even though I've been here forever. I have that at the bottom of that list. Bulgaria, people like to party, yes, but and you can come here and any girl will fall in love with you, yes, but to like have a quick bit of fun here and there, the quality of it, I don't. In my opinion, I don't think it's as good as the rest of the Eastern Bloc countries. I hope I explained it. I hope I set up the context to explain it.
Cool, cool. And shout out to
So that
CEO Mo for the $5 super chat. He asked, "What's the strategy to find and connect with these women that you guys are meeting? I guess is it like a dating apps out there, or is it a cold approach type of thing?"
um,
Hold on, Elliot. Hold on. Let me take it off mute.
Her,
Go ahead, Elliot.
yeah, they like a question. I mean, you can literally just grab one by the neck and say what's up and like start talking to her and hold her in that position. I mean, they love that shit.
All right,
Okay,
bro. Hey,
and
hey,
so
no cursing, bro. No
this,
cursing.
yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, excuse me, but they love that. I mean, you grab them, and it's just over. They gonna sit there and listen to you. If you say the right words, they mostly into guessing. You know, I tell them, okay, I got a secret to tell you or something like that, and they'll hook on that secret no matter if you don't even tell them after the deed is done.
Got you.
okay.
And it's like,
So
are they on
my
Tinder a lot out there?
okay. So I know some African brothers that met women on Tinder because the African brothers here in Bulgaria, the ones they're looking for somebody to marry so they can. Okay, let me not say they. I'm not speaking in not all of them. Not speaking
Yeah,
in absolute, but for the most part, they're looking for someone to marry. And what they end up doing is they find American women on Tinder who end up coming to Bulgaria to be with these African brothers. And those are usually women that are in their 50s and 60s. And these brothers don't care. They just don't want to go back to Africa without any money. Like I've been in Europe for 7 years and I don't have any money at all. I need to coop up with a girl or a wife. So at the point of desperation, I know they do go on Tinder. Ilya, what I want to
yeah.
say was, unlike you, I'm not grabbing anybody by the neck or any of that. When you sit in coffee shops in Sofia, you just make eye contact with the girls and they come to you. Literally,
My
you just
phone will
make eye
die, guys.
contact.
All right, I gotta go.
All right, peace out, man.
All right, peace out. Yeah, so they'll make eye contact with you, and and they'll come over and sit, and you could just walk up to them and say, "Do you speak English?" That's what my approach is. Any cute girls, and the men here don't get jealous. The men here are not like I don't know other places. Maybe I'm not sure, but yeah, it's not like the men look at you funny when you stop and talk to girls. Matter of fact, when you jump into a lot of taxis from the airport, most of the men in the taxis will say, "Hey, you want to go see some women? You want to?" Because they know, by looking at you, you being black, they know you're a foreigner, and that's the first thing they'll offer is, "Would you want? Do you want to see some women? Do you want women? I got women for you." And it's just like, wow, like so, yeah. So they do have their own Facebook in Eastern Europe, which is used by Russia, and it's called VK. V Contact is pretty popular, but that's their version of it's like VK. I think you can look it up, but it's their version of Facebook. I think the one of the owners of who own part of Google, he owns that as well. So it's a pretty popular social media platform that they use called VK. But most of it is written
Yeah.
in Russian. Yeah, VK, V Contacty. So most of it
Oh,
is
okay.
rich. Yeah, most of it is written in. It's a blue. It looks like Facebook, but except it says V and a K in white lettering. Most of them is written in Russian, so you might want to do a lot of copy paste onto your Google Translate. You just copy paste it when they do communicate with you on that. Um,
Mhm.
but in Ukraine, a lot of girls are impressed when you do have. You're like, oh, you got VK? Like, yeah, okay, let's connect. Okay, I'll write you, and then we'll meet up later. So yeah, VK is like their version of uh, uh, Facebook or Instagram.
Got you.
I hope I answered CEO Mo. I hope that answered your
Yeah,
question.
that was a pretty good detailed answer, man. Well, bro, I appreciate you coming on the show, man. We finally got to do it. I know we've been talking about it for a minute.
Anytime. I hope I covered the racial aspect of it. I covered the police aspect of it. I covered how people come out here to party. I covered the female. So I hope I covered a broad base that would generally answer. Because I don't want to make sure I didn't leave anything out. So I hope I generally covered what goes on here in Eastern Europe and Bulgaria. I heard of a brother. Somebody in the group told me about a brother that's in Prague and how he just be having crazy fun. I'm going to ride my motorcycle through Prague. I'm waiting for my other BMT t-shirts to come. I got the black one that came in, and I hope to link up with the brother if brothers are out there, and if brothers are in Eastern Europe, definitely, if they're with the group, of course, they could definitely inbox me.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Well, bro, I appreciate you coming on, man. We're gonna do a part 2 to this.
Oh yeah, we have to because I want to talk about. I shipped my car here. So my Cadillac here, I'm the only one here with a Cadillac. It's an American company. I also shipped my 2 motorcycles, American-made motorcycles. So I want to talk about import and export and how I had to pay VAT taxes. So I kind of want to cover that aspect because these are my experiences of it, and also different how to register a business here, Vibers here. A couple of American corporations are operating from here. They have call centers here. So things like that. And I'm sure they have that in Colombia as well. But I wanted to just mention that as well as cover how some American corporations, because it's so cheap to rent places, to set up business. And Americans do get a discount when they do set up businesses here in Bulgaria. So I wanted to talk about that as well. I wanted to elaborate on that further.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. I had no idea, bro. You giving us a lot of information, new information, because I know a lot of brothers not familiar with Eastern Europe like that.
Right. So I definitely want to cover that on the next discussion, and I got receipts just in case anybody asks for receipts. I can show y'all where I shipped it from. I shipped from the port of New York, and also shipped from Galveston, Texas. How much did it cost? I could break all that down if brothers want to do that, and also got the breakdown for Colombia too. And I did not send my motorcycle there because obviously we know the security situation there. But as far as import and export, I definitely wanted just to share some of that with brothers, like container shipping and things like that.
All right, cool, man. But once again, bro, appreciate you coming on. Salute.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Anytime. I'm glad to be sharing information with brothers. I will be posting up more in the group.
All right, appreciate that, man.
All right.
All right, now.
All right, peace. Be one.
Peace.